Hello, welcome to another talk on money, business, and investing. My name is Jose. I'm the founder of the company brand here at MASTERINVESTOR. Ensure to subscribe and turn on the notifications so that you know when we go live or upload a valuable talk on money, business, and investing that can literally change our finances forever as long as we apply the knowledge that we're learning from our community and other mentors. We always encourage everyone in our community to seek and find those mentors that are available to us online and also in person so that we can have access to mistakes that we don't want to make. We can avoid mistakes when we're building our business empire. We will experience mistakes along the way, but the more we invest in our financial education and the right mentors, then we will be able to avoid unnecessary mistakes. We don't have to make the mistakes ourselves. Now, be okay with making mistakes and learning from them, okay? We have to understand how to turn our ideas into real businesses. It's not just good enough to have a good idea. And we're gonna be talking about that today. In fact, today's theme is called How Systems and Ideas Create Wealth. A successful business is a system of systems doing the selling and telling on autopilot for the business owner and inside investor. Master the ability to implement our ideas into systems. Summary. Successful businesses are intricate networks of interconnected systems when done correctly. Use profitable business systems to realize our superior idea when we want to become wealthy. It need not be novel or exceptional for our idea to be better. Our mission here at MASTERINVESTOR is to elevate the financial well-being of humanity through high-quality financial education made simple. We look at opportunities to build passive income and true wealth. Ensure to check out all the links in the description of this video if you're watching us on our live stream right now, or if you're hearing us on our podcast. Make sure you go to our website, check out our ebooks, digital courses that we have available. You can also find them on Amazon, the ebooks, but if you go to our website, you'll have additional assets that comes with each ebook, okay? We have turned every book into a digital course that we are adding value into as we move along. Exclusive interviews, systems, artificial intelligence, and anything that will emphasize more on the topic of that book, okay? And whenever we get in, we will always be grandfathered thereafter to any other asset that we add into that course at no additional cost. It's a win-win relationship and it's a great investment for all of our partners. So make sure you take advantage of the deal here that we're offering for all of our members that are listening and reading our content right now. Many people will think that investing in business is risky, but when we look into the pros and cons of starting a business, it shows every time that the total freedom that a sound business empire can bring to one's life is priceless and all worth it. Everything in this life requires money, currency, or something of value to be able to manifest what we want. So the best thing we can all do is study how wealth is created and duplicate others' success. The wheels to wealth are already created for us. We do not need to reinvent the wheel to bring wealth in our lives. However, we highly recommend whatever business we start, we should always have a dedicated department for innovation. A business without innovation in this new economy and age will fail. Everything is changing with new technology and we have to be willing to grow with the changes. We have to master the ability to replace what we learned in the past with the new data and concepts that do work in today's economy. That is why we created our digital course and book, The 10 New Rules of Money. All of our content is dedicated to financial education and the ultra-wealthy mindset. Teaching by showing our members and partners how to create true wealth by using power of control, leverage, debt, and systems. The new rules of money teach us that today money is knowledge. In other words, money is debt and no longer real money. Money is a currency and just an idea backed up by confidence. We must master money and how to multiply by investing in assets that our companies control. We have to understand the basics of business and investing as an inside investor and business owner to be successful on the right side of the cash flow circle. As we can see on our screen, we're sharing the poor mindset. 97% of the population. Remember, the poor mindset contains the middle class and the poor class, okay? It has to do with how they make their money and what they do with their money, okay? How they spend their money. So as we can see, the financial statement of a poor mindset person, it shows the income statement, it shows the income column and the expenses. We're going to be focusing on the expenses column. As we can see, the employee and the self-employed, which are the players on the left side of the cash flow circle, have earned income from a job. Therefore, they pay taxes first and maybe buy assets after, if any left. So the priorities are not buying assets, the priorities are paying taxes because they make the type of income that requires the individual to pay taxes upfront. So by the time they have their check in their hand, they usually have already been taken the taxes out of that check, okay, for them automatically. So now they're going to acquire liabilities and work harder and more hours and extra hours so that they can keep up with the liabilities expenses. And lastly, they try to acquire assets, but they have no financial education because they spend all their time working at a job, and that person who works all day has no time to make money, right? Person who works all day at a job for money has not time to make real money, real true wealth, okay? We want to talk about wealth as total freedom. Being rich is one thing, it's having a lot of money. You could be a CEO of a company or have a high paying job, or you could have a profession that pays you well. But if you have to show up every time to see the clients, then you're still operating with a poor mindset. It's not to offend anybody, it's just that there are two mindsets when it comes to building wealth: the poor mindset and the wealthy mindset when it comes to money, okay? And majority of people operate with a poor mindset because they lack financial education. Once we know how to invest and what we can do with our money and how much more power we have when we actually actively invest instead of giving our money away to anybody to invest it for us. That's not what we do here inside of our community. We're active investors, meaning that we're actively engaged in investment. Whether we're starting our own company, we're launching a new brand, we're grabbing our ideas and turning them into real businesses by applying systems. And we're going to give you some tools and resources by the end of this talk so that we can take advantage of the opportunities that we have all available to bring wealth into our lives. Poor mindset people try to buy assets with after-tax dollars. Many times it is not enough to afford any assets after everything is paid, including their liabilities. Therefore, their assets column is empty. They lack financial education and actively invest without giving their money away to. So they lack financial education and they give their money away. Okay, that's the left side of the cash flow circle. I need to fix a small typo there. We must invest like the wealthy and legally copy the cash flow pattern of the ultra wealthy. A system within a system is the human body. It is composed of several systems, including digestive, respiratory, and circulatory systems. It is likely that the body will become severely damaged or even die if one of these systems fails. Take a look at the diagram below that demonstrates how the wealthy invest. Only about 3% of the entire global population invested by prioritizing expenses, moving investing in financial education as number one expense of all. So if we can take anything from today's talk, let's just take this one concept of bringing investing, actively investing, right? Not giving our money away to anybody. We're going to be actively investing, be involved in the entire process of investing, right? And financial education as number one expense on our expenses column, regardless of our situation today. So we have to pay somebody else. We're going to put financial education and investing first before we give that money away to anybody, to any creditors, to anything. We got to put them on hold because this is the way we're going to come out of the rat race and pay any bad debt off and catch up with that and those expenses that bad debt carries. Okay, there's nothing wrong with having bad debt as long as we have assets that pays for the bad debt. expenses, right? The interest, none of that matters as long as we have a cash flowing asset that takes care of the expenses of that liability. So it's not about shrinking or cutting the expenses when we build wealth. It's about expanding our assets column, getting financial education, and actively be involved in acquiring assets daily, okay? So as we can see, the 3% of the population are businesses buy other assets first and then we pay taxes after, if any. So we acquire assets, right? And our assets acquire other assets. As we bring in the revenue and surplus, we will reinvest that into another asset class with another asset that will produce either capital gains income or passive income. Those are the two types of income that we can get from investing. As we can see the financial statement of the wealthy mindset, we have the expenses listed as number 1, acquiring assets and financial education. Number 2, pay taxes, if any, because not only we use debt, which is tax-free from the get-go according to the law, because money is created with debt. So we encourage all of our partners to use debt. In fact, the wealthiest companies on earth use debt. We cannot be wealthy without using debt. We need to learn how to manage debt and how to acquire assets utilizing debt. Today, we can actually have access to more money than ever before due to the internet. So as a wealthy entrepreneur, we need to master the job number 1 of a wealthy entrepreneur, which is to raise capital. And the number 1 skill is to sell without selling using systems and smart marketing. Something that we are mastering how to do inside of our community here at Master Investor, okay? We're definitely creating leaders, true leaders, wealthy entrepreneurs, and inside investors, or master investors, or also known as true capitalists. Okay, the highest level of an investor, the ultimate investor, is a capitalist. Wealthy people buy or acquire assets first before tax dollars and pay zero in taxes in many occasions. And we acquire liabilities by having the assets pay for the expenses of the liabilities. We can obtain everything for free. All is done legally using the tax code and corporate law to our advantage. Similar to this, a business is an intricate network of interconnected systems. And much like a body, the entire company will either perish or become crippled if one of those systems fails. Many of the systems are represented graphically in the cash flow triangle. While everyone is unique, they are all connected at the same time. Because the systems depend on one another, it is challenging to distinguish between them and to determine which is more crucial. So as we can see, we have the 8 integrities of the cash flow triangle that establishes a wealthy business, establishes a successful business. Any business that is successful today, if you compare the cash flow triangle and look at the business and analyze whichever business, whether it's Nike, Apple, any business that you can put next to the cash flow triangle, you can run the 8 integrities. We guarantee that those 8 integrities are well established and we can see them in that business vividly, okay, active today. So the 8 integrities are mission, team, leadership, cash flow, communications, systems, legal, and product. Majority of people think the product is the most important aspect of the business, but if we lack any of the other integrities, the business will fail regardless of how good the product is, and we see it all the time. How to expand our company? Any business that wants to expand needs to assign a specific accountability to each system and have an overarching general director who oversees the optimization of all the systems. In our experience as a director of a business, executives who study their financial accounts behave like pilots seated in the cockpit, interpreting the gauges from every operating system. It is time to make the required adjustments if one of the systems starts to malfunction. Great ideas are sometimes needed or corrections. So we need to have an innovation department in our business, because as we confront obstacles along the way, we need to have innovation actively happening in our business, because that's how we're going to stay ahead of the competition. We're going to discover new ways, and also we're going to be able to capitalize and acquire new clients that otherwise we wouldn't have if we didn't innovate. Okay, so we need to not steal but copy and improve other people's ideas, right? Other businesses. Make a decent idea into an excellent one. Start by writing the idea down on a Word document or any type of notes-taking product. We have to see our idea out of our minds in order to run it through some tests that will let us know whether the idea is an excellent one. After the idea is in writing and outside of our minds, then now we can run a quick test to see if our idea can withstand without us present. For us to find out, we must imagine an invisible needle and attempt to push our idea through the eye of the needle. If the idea can go through the eye of the needle without us going through the needle, obviously because we could not fit through the eye of the needle, but the idea alone can fit through when it has systems established and possesses the integrities of a successful business. If the idea can go through the eye of the needle and come out of the other side as a business with systems, then we can move into putting the foundation down for the business operation, because we know that it will work without us. As soon as it has the systems in place, the idea can run on itself. Keep in mind, we will build a business to solve a problem or problems and raise capital. That's why a business is built. Any successful business is built to solve a problem in the world and raise capital. It needs to be profitable. Okay? We can only have a successful business that solves a problem and raises capital if we have systems in the business. A business has to run on its own at some point, and once the systems are established, we have to work on our businesses rather than in our businesses. Being a wealthy entrepreneur and inside investor requires us to have control over our time, and therefore we do not sell our time ever. We always have control over our time, and our cash flow in businesses and investments are the reason why we have control over our time. As we can see on the diagram in front of us, we have the cash flow pattern of the wealthy class. If you're listening to our podcast, I invite you to go to our website, sign up for our newsletter. It's free. You will have the articles that we're publishing via email in case we may not have time to listen to the podcast or join a live stream. Then we can at least read the article before we go to bed or whenever we have time set aside for financial education during the day. Okay, so make sure you take a look at these diagrams, because it's going to be of a lot of help in shaping our core values to the one of the ultra wealthy person. As we can see, the financial statement in front of us shows that the income is coming in from the assets column and is going into the income column, and then now that money flows into the liability column, and it goes up the expense column, and it now goes out again back to the asset column, because a lot of times we can turn our liabilities and expenses into assets. Okay, and also we have as number one expense investing in financial education. So there's always going to be investment activity in our daily life, because we are active investors. We're not going to give our money away to somebody else, because that will be a passive investor. Rule number one in our community is that we invest and work for passive income and make money work hard through sound investing actively. Okay, we're not giving our money away to anybody. We're going to do it ourselves, and we're going to build our team, because a business and investing is a team sport. So in this financial statement that we're seeing from the wealthy class, we can see that the positive cash flow comes from passive income and capital gains income assets that we control with our companies. Having a good idea is not enough. We must turn it into a great idea by applying systems in the 8 integrities of the cash flow triangle. We have to ensure the legalities are in order and treat our business like a successful business from the get-go. The impact of a superior concept or greater idea. What is the point? We don't need to have brand new or original ideas to succeed financially. All they need to do is improve from others. We can literally copy success by simply improving existing profitable ideas, but not steal the ideas as is. Now, there is a thin line separating improving upon an idea from outright stealing it. Instead of coming up with original ideas, a lot of people dedicate their entire life to stealing those of others. They pay a price in the form of at least diminished respect from others and occasionally larger lawsuits. So make sure that we are innovating. If we see a business that we like and we're passionate about that business or that niche, then we can study how they created their company, what are the products and so forth, and we can also solve problems in that same niche using the same type of products with our own twist. We're going to innovate, we're going to maybe use less resources, add more value, and acquire new customers, but we're doing it by innovation. We're not stealing, we're copying legally. Okay, there's a big difference. So become a great copywriter, right? That's what I'm suggesting here, to learn how to copy and improve. Do not steal as is. Make sure that you have the legalities in order and you are innovating in your organization. We have to have a department that innovates all the time. The 10 lines separating theft and copying. There's a fine line between copying and stealing. Individuals who have achieved great financial success are not always those who have invented anything. A lot of times are those who have taken something that already exists and turned it into a better idea by improving on it. Adding new systems, using less resources, and adding more value could be a way to take over fast with our ideas, businesses. Instead, they make millions by taking ideas and improving them via the use of sound business methods. Fashion designers simply mass produce the new styles that young children are wearing after seeing what they are wearing. The operating system that has made Bill Gates one of the wealthiest persons in the world was not his invention. All he did was purchase a system from the computer programmers who had actually invented it and then granted IBM a license to use it. History is what's left. Sam Walton came up with the idea for Walmart and Amazon.com brought it online. Sam Walton did not become wealthy quite as rapidly as Jeff Bezos did. This is a formula for a prosperous company, is to copy and improve from others that have already succeeded in that area that we're passionate about. The kinds of companies that banks prefer. Always keep in mind that on the right side of the cash flow circle, a business owner, an inside investor. Businesses receive more funding from investors because those investors put their money into quality systems, true brands, and the people who can develop them and of course manage that operation. So banks are more inclined to give money to the companies that have intrinsic value and business integrity. Intrinsic value means that we have protected the logo, we have registered our brand, we have patent whatever we're producing. If we need to patent something, intellectual property, the legalities are in order. No one else can take what we're doing. We have something unique and original, and we're providing that to the world, and no other competitor can steal that one valuable or many valuable products that we have protected. Okay, so it's important that we have legalities in order, and we treat our starting business as if it's already a successful business. That way we don't miss any important aspects to keeping the business running and growing. Okay, it's about expanding and having that business at scale. We want to have businesses that scale, and banks love businesses that scale. Okay, because we can make more money. There's an unlimited amount of money that we can make, like Coca-Cola or like products like Apple, right? Phones, devices. People that have an Android can always switch to an Apple if they see an ad, or if they have an issue with Android and they're tired of it and they're not getting anywhere with it, then they can switch. So we have the opportunity to acquire new clients all the time. That's the position we want to be in when it comes to building our brands. Okay, we want to be able to tap into new networks, okay, because we have something that is attractive and can solve people's problems. Businesses where the system retires at night tend to repel investors. In other words, if the business cannot run on its own, then the banks do not want to invest in it because they want a money machine. They want to ensure that their money is going to be back every single month according to the payment plan that we agree on the loan and so forth. They need to have confidence, and we need to show them that by demonstrating it through the cash flow analysis of the business. For any business idea to succeed, it must have strong systems. We become less reliant on other people when the system is better. Take a look at the McDonald's systems, which are run by teenagers and are the same everywhere in the world. The outstanding systems in place make this feasible. Rather than its employees, McDonald's depends on its systems, and McDonald's owns and controls all its locations, land. McDonald's is the wealthiest real estate company that exists today, controlling around $42 billion in real estate. And they have built such a successful business that any bank lends them the money to acquire the land where the McDonald's will be built. Making the land free for McDonald's and adding value into the brand of McDonald's by controlling the real estate of every franchisee they sell across the globe. As of 2021, the company operates in 119 countries. Out of the 40,031 McDonald's restaurants, 37,295 or 93% were franchised, while the remaining 2,736 were company operated. This total to almost $42 billion worth of assets on the balance sheet, making McDonald's one of the biggest real estate company in the world. McDonald's gets rent and royalties from the owner of the franchisee, as McDonald's or the franchisor is the landlord of such property. McDonald's uses the borrow money from the bank to obtain the land and build on it. Then they sell the franchisee at $1.6 approximately $1 million entry fee and other requirements in order to be a franchisee of a McDonald's franchise. McDonald's is a perfect example of a true business and brand. When we learn about McDonald's, we will be able to see that the one person who thinks is the creator of McDonald's is not, but rather it was two brothers who ended selling the rights of McDonald's to a business owner and inside investor who sold the machines to make shakes at some point. Then he fell in love with the brand and ended up buying the brand from the brothers. The rest is history. McDonald's is not just a hamburger place, but a real estate company. We can learn how to build our business empire by learning great lessons from the greatest that have ever done it. Copy, but do not steal. Improving systems, management skills. Real estate is a terrific place to start if we want to improve at creating and running systems. The business that a renter pays us rent for is a building on a plot of land. Since real estate is largely inert and stable, it allows a new business owner more time to make adjustments if something starts to go wrong. After a year or two of property management, we will have a strong business management ability. We are working on our fourth and fifth books right now. The fourth book is going to be called How to Raise Capital to Build Wealth, and the fifth book will talk about to start our own corporation, run our own corporation, right, and start doing business like the wealthy. We have to have a corporation. We have to do business not under our names, but under a corporation, and hopefully that corporation is not named after your own name, unless you want to turn your name into a brand. Okay, if you want to be someone like Ralph Lauren, Gucci, and so forth, feel free, but we highly suggest creating a brand that is for the world and it doesn't have attachment to our name, like Coca-Cola, Nike, etc. A lot of people don't even know who are the owners of these companies, but yeah, they know the company. That's what we want. We don't want to become the product of our company. And we can avoid that by implementing systems and the right brand from the get-go. In addition to getting hands-on experience, which is the best type of experience by applying everything we learn into our lives. That is how we turn others' knowledge into our own knowledge. Take a few minutes to register for the free Master Investors community here, where we can access a plethora of helpful information while we are at it. However, in the interim, consider this. What is our better idea? Steps: number 1, write down the idea out of our mind. Number 2, run it through the test of the eye of the needle to ensure our idea can be a true business. Number 3, launch the idea into a business with systems. Once we know the idea works and can be established with the integrities of a successful business by using the cash flow triangle, then we can see the results we expect. Receiving passive income from a business that we launch is one of the greatest feelings ever to exist, as it provides a door to total freedom and being able to optimize life experiences because we have mastered passive income or positive cash flow. Understanding everything about money is more important than academic or professional education. In other words, in order to build wealth, we need to have financial education. People focus on academic and professional education their entire life. We need to add financial education into the mix in order for us to create true wealth. Once we possess the business vocabulary, actively invest for passive income, and financial education, then we can experience what is to be totally free and in control over our future. Choose our great ideas and start a business. Once our business is creating revenue and surplus, then we should have looked into another asset class to start investing in it with the revenue of the existing business. 5 different asset classes: business, number 2, real estate, number 3, crypto, number 4, paper assets, number 5, commodities. Those are the 5 asset classes that exist. We can start with number 1, starting a business, right? Or we can start with real estate or even crypto. Today we have access to all the asset classes by using our cell phone and smart devices. So choose one of those asset classes and launch our idea into systems, okay? Make it a real brand, something that people want to be part of. We have to create an experience for the customers. And use the cash flow tetrahedron, as we explained before, we're watching it on the screen. It shows us exactly how we should build our business empire. Follow the cash flow tetrahedron to ensure we are building our business empire with the ultra wealthy mindset. We can see that our businesses pays for our expenses, and those expenses, number 1 expense we have is actively invest, and we're acquiring assets actively, and we're investing in financial education. Okay, so we are going to use that revenue of those businesses to invest in other businesses and other assets like real estate, paper assets, and other assets as much as possible. Use the cash flow from existing businesses to invest in other assets in different asset classes. Just an idea alone is not enough. We need strong systems and smart marketing behind our brands. Start investing in high quality financial education today, and make sure you get our 3 books: The 10 Rules of Money, How to Build Cash Flow with Internet, Turn Passive Income On, How to Invest in Crypto to Build Wealth, Understanding Bitcoin and Blockchain, The Rise of Legitimate Reserve Digital Currencies and Assets. Again, we need systems, and if you have an idea, make sure you use our ebooks as a guide to help you launch that idea into a real business. And a lot of times we're sitting on ideas that are worth millions and billions of dollars, but we need to take action. So we need to have a foundation, we need to have a mentor, and more than one mentor as well. I always recommend having several mentors in our lives, and make sure that we're constantly investing in our self-development. Okay, I hope that you learned a lot from today's talk. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will talk to you on the next valuable talk on money, business, and investing, bring you the good and bad news of money, the business principles that work in all economies. Today we cover how systems and ideas create wealth. Stay extraordinary and wealthy. Bye for now.